Hi, I'm Leslie Ann Murray, and welcome to Brown Girl Book Lover. Today we're talking to Eisa Ulen at Brooklyn Teas on Nostrand Avenue. I'm a real fangirl of Eisa Ulen because she was my former teacher at Hunter College, and she's like my literary crush, and I'm just so happy to talk to her about her book. It's really moving, very beautiful, very lyrical, and my gosh, the story stays with you forever. And so, welcome, Eisa.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yay! Okay, I have my questions.
Great.
Okay, so why don't you give us just a brief summary of Crystelle Mourning?
That's a hard question. Crystelle Mourning is a novel set over one long weekend in Philadelphia. The title character, Crystelle, is mourning the loss of her first love, who was shot and killed in West Philadelphia, where they both grew up many years earlier. And since the time in their high school senior year when Jimmy, her first love, was murdered, he's been haunting her, coming to her in her dreams and haunting her. And so the novel is set after she's graduated from college. She started her professional career, and her current boyfriend is sort of hinting that he wants to marry her, and she really needs to go home and confront the past, and in many ways confront the spirit of Jimmy, so she can exorcise him and release him and move forward with her life.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of questions, some deep questions first, and then we'll expand.
Okay.
So, in the novel, there are two hauntings that's happening. Jimmy is haunting Crystelle, and this has caused her a lot of emotional turmoil. And there's a haunting of post-traumatic stress disorder due to slavery on Crystelle, her family, her friends, and her community. I was wondering, how did you were able to merge these two ideas so neatly?
Thanks for that question. You know, nobody's ever asked about that.
Yeah.
And you're right. There are these, there's this sort of contemporary iteration of the slave past that is haunting Crystelle personally.
Yeah.
And then this larger, centuries-old trauma that's being passed down through the generations.
Yeah.
Forward. But I think as Black people, we especially need to come together. So the only thing I would say about self-care now, it is more in the forefront, but I think that we have perhaps, and I could be wrong, but I think that we perhaps diluted some of the more communal aspects of it, where it's personal self-care to deal with what's happening in your own life, as opposed to all of us really coming together as a community, which we can do now because of technology.
How would you suggest that, and I know this is a big question, this is $1 million question, but as a community, how can we heal as a community?
That is $1 million question. Yeah. I would be able to buy that house in the rolling hills of New England if I knew the answer. I think that one thing is to bear witness, to remember and tell. What happened, owning that, bearing witness to it, and sharing that with people who look like you is absolutely essential. I think that's one important ritual. I think another important ritual, and when I say ritual, I think we have to understand this is stuff that has to continuously happen. It's not like, this is what happened to me, and now I've told my story and we're finished. We have to remember and tell everything that has happened to our ancestors. All the stories that we know about that uncle, about that auntie. We have to bear witness to the pain, but also to the triumph. So just holding the memory and keeping the memory alive in our oral tradition, I think is super important. And then the other thing that I think is really important is to hold the nation accountable. I honestly don't think this, people say, move on, it's over, just move on. I don't think that's possible, honestly, until there is a reckoning.
But I love how you made Crystelle, she's from this, on Fraser Street, West Philly, and she's educated, moved to New York City, but she's still down home, right? She still goes home and she still checks in with her friends and she knows everyone from the neighborhood. And sometimes I feel like we don't see that much, right? As soon as you become upwardly mobile, you're like, who are you? Neighborhood?
Yeah.
And I love that you did that. And that was a concerted effort. It's not like you're just writing and, oh, let me put that in.
Yeah.
I just love that how you are, you know, it's all about community and you're breaking these stereotypes of these upwardly mobile Black folks who are disconnected to their neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't know that that's entirely true, because if we had all abandoned our neighborhoods, then we wouldn't be here, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And you know that scene in the library where she touches the wood table and there's all these kids have carved different names into the wood, and you know, it's like so-and-so loves so-and-so, together forever equals success, you know, like silly stuff like that. But it's almost like graffiti, as it's sort of carved into the wood, as she can feel that this is her place, right? This is home for her. Yeah. And that doesn't mean she can't go back to Brooklyn, can't go back to New York, and can't have, you know, her New York life. Yeah. But a piece of her will always be on Fraser Street. One of the things that I wanted to do, because there's a lot of focus on boys and men, and you know, boys coming of age and that sort of thing, but I felt like where was the focus on the girls and women? And so as a woman, that's what I wanted to focus on. That's where I wanted to look and see, you know, what does this do to women, and how are women and young women like Shelley, and even older women like Jimmy's mother, what are they doing to ritualize our survival? What are they doing in community, in these everyday acts that make sure that we can push beyond mere survival and start to thrive?
Yeah. Some parts of it, when I was reading it, I was like, Crystelle has such a maternal relationship with Jimmy's mother, sometimes more than her mother. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, well, mother-daughter relationships, complicated. Yeah. But I think too that it's so important to show, you know, again, that whole false narrative about how we tear each other down. And I mean, all you have to do is look at certain television channels and you'll see, you know, images of women of different racial identities, you know, tearing each other down, hurting each other. Yeah. But the reality is that we have always lifted each other up. We have always been the ones to lift one another up, right? And to affirm one another. And again, that's why we're still here. That's why we still can claim ownership of our beautiful Black bodies, right? Yeah. And I think taking care of each other is just what we do.
Yeah. How was your process writing dialogue for this?
You know, the genesis of this book really came from me eavesdropping.
Yeah.
I was sitting on a stoop in DC. Yeah. And I heard these two girls, they were walking by, and one of them said to the other, I'm just going to go on and have his baby before he gets shot up or locked up or something. Yeah. I will never forget when I heard her say that. Yeah. And it just spoke so much to me and straight to my heart. Yeah. And I was a young woman myself. I was still in college when I heard this. And it's not like I had started writing right away, but that conversation stayed with me. Yeah. And to honor that young woman in Washington, D.C., who I will never know, but thank you, sister. You know, I wanted to capture the way that we speak to each other every day. And I think that literary scholars in the past would sometimes identify or misidentify the dialogue in literature by Black women writers as small talk. Yeah. This sort of derisive term of small talk. Yeah. But it's not small talk, it's big talk, right? And I didn't want to edit out or cut away all the nuances of the beautiful ways that Black people speak. Yeah.
So now, like, what, are you working on something else, or?
Yeah. So I'm working on another novel.
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of writing.
Yeah.
Freelance writing, essays, articles.
Yeah.
But I'm editing my second book so that my agent, thank you for your patience, will be able to send it out.
Yeah. Like, what's your words of wisdom for young writers, young Black women writers especially?
Keep writing.
Yeah.
I guess I would say that keep reading and keep writing. Your story is valuable and valued. There's a community of writers who is here for you, and we welcome you. And tell the truth as you see it in a beautiful way.
Yeah.